Have you ever heard of the SCP Foundation? Perhaps you have seen videos. Perhaps you have seen images of such creatures and anomalies. Or perhaps you have stumbled across this strange world by accident. SCP is an abbreviation for Secure, Contain, and Protect. What defines these three words are what is really being kept locked away from society. The SCP Foundation are an organization responsible for locating, containing, and cataloging objects and creatures that violate natural order. Each SCP is put into a certain object class and given a specific number upon being contained, but the three main object classes are Safe, Euclid, and Keter, Keter being the most deadly. In today's video, we will be taking a closer look at the mysterious world of the SCP Foundation and 5 of its anomalous Keter Class Objects. Hello everyone, my name is Danish from Mad Music Animations, and do be sure to drop a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload a new video. Keter, also known as Keter, is the topmost of the Sephiroth of the Tree of Life in Kabbalah. Since its meaning is crown, this correlates to being the top of the food chain. SCP-106 appears to be an elderly humanoid entity that has the general appearance of advanced decomposition. This appearance may vary, but the rotten quality can be observed in all forms. SCP-106 is not exceptionally agile and will remain motionless for days at a time waiting for prey. SCP-106 also has the ability to scale any vertical surface and can remain suspended upside down indefinitely. When attacking, SCP-106 will attempt to incapacitate prey by damaging vital organs, muscle groups, or tendons. It will then proceed to drag its prey into its pocket dimension. SCP-106 seems to prefer human prey items within the 10 to 25 years of age bracket. SCP-106 causes a corrosion effect when in contact with any solid matter, engaging a physical breakdown in materials several seconds after contact. This is observed as rusting, rotting, and cracking of materials, and the creation of a black mucus-like substance similar to the material coating of 106. This effect is especially harmful to living tissue and is assumed to be a pre-digestion action. Corrosion then continues for 6 hours before finally appearing to burn out. 106 is capable of passing through solid matter, leaving behind a large patch of its corrosive mucus. In some cases, the SCP will vanish into solid matter, entering what is assumed to be its pocket dimension. SCP-106 is then able to enter and leave this pocket dimension as it pleases, with it being able to go through one end of this dimension and out another, such as entering the inside of a wall and exiting the outer wall. SCP-682 is a large, vaguely reptile-like creature of unknown origin, famous for its ability of being almost impossible to destroy. It appears to be extremely intelligent and was observed to engage in complex communication with SCP-079 during their limited time of exposure. SCP-682 seems to have a hatred of all life, which has been expressed in several interviews during containment. SCP-682 has been observed to have extremely high strength, speed, and reflexes, though exact levels vary with its form. Its physical body changes and grows very quickly, growing or decreasing in size as it consumes or sheds material and gains energy from anything it ingests, whether it is organic or inorganic. Digestion seems to be aided by a set of filtering gills inside of SCP-682's nostrils, which are able to remove usable matter from any liquid solution, enabling it to constantly regenerate from the acid it is contained in. SCP-682's regenerative abilities and resilience are staggering, as it has even been seen talking and moving with 87% of its body destroyed or rotted. SCP-682 has been recorded to have attempted to breach containment approximately 17 times to date. However, there have only been 6 successful breaches. In case of a containment breach of the SCP, all available mobile task forces and no teams with fewer than 7 members are to track down and recapture SCP-682 as soon as possible. SCP-035 appears to be a white porcelain comedy mask, although at times it will change to tragedy. In events of changing its appearance, all existing visual records such as photographs, video footage, and even illustrations of SCP-035 will automatically change to reflect its new appearance. A highly corrosive and degenerative liquid constantly seeps from the eye and mouth holes of SCP-035. Anything, including organisms, coming into contact with this substance slowly decays over a period of time, depending on the material, until it has decayed completely into a pool of the original contaminant. Glass seems to react the slowest to the effects of the item, hence the construction choice of its immediate container. The origin of this liquid is currently unknown. Subjects within the presence of SCP-035 experience a strong urge to put it on. When SCP-035 is placed on the face of an individual, an alternate brainwave pattern from SCP-035 overlaps that of the original host, effectively snuffing it out and causing brain death to the subject. Subject then claims to be the consciousness contained within SCP-035. The bodies of possessed subjects decay at a highly accelerated rate, eventually becoming little more than mummified corpses. Nevertheless, SCP-035 has demonstrated the ability to remain in cognitive control of a body experiencing severe structural damage, even if the subject's body literally decays to the point where motion is not mechanically possible. It has then been discovered that the SCP is able to possess anything of a humanoid shape, including things such as mannequins, and is able to motivate all movement. Conversations with SCP-035 have proven to be very informative. Researchers have learned various details about other SCP objects and history in general, as SCP-035 claims to have been at many momentous events. SCP-035 displays a highly intelligent and charismatic personality, being both amiable and flattering to all those who speak with it. However, psychological analysis has discovered SCP-035 to possess a highly manipulative nature, capable of forcing sudden and profound changes to interviewers' psychological state. SCP-035 has been proven to be highly sadistic, prompting some to commit suicide and transforming others into near-mindless servants with linguistic persuasion alone. SCP-035 has stated that it has intimate knowledge of the workings of the human mind, and implied that it could change anyone's views if given enough time. SCP-2006 is an anomalous spherical entity roughly 50 centimeters in diameter when in its default state. SCP-2006's stated goal is to cause feelings of fear and/or horror in as many humans as possible. To accomplish this purpose, SCP-2006 possesses the ability to change its shape, mass, volume, density, chemical structure, and voice to any form that it desires. Currently, there is no known way to damage SCP-2006. The extent of its shape-shifting abilities is currently unknown and is thought to be unlimited. Currently, SCP-2006 has demonstrated a fondness for taking the forms of various entities and villains from the various horror and science fiction movies that it has witnessed. The most common form that SCP-2006 has taken is that of Roman from the 1953 movie Robot Monster. SCP-2006 is capable of speaking, even when it possesses the form of an entity that is normally unable to speak. SCP-2006 will generally attempt to startle and/or scare any individual it comes into contact with, but after doing so, will become affable and friendly. The reason behind this is currently unknown. Although SCP-2006 has repeatedly stated its goal of causing as much fear as possible, SCP-2006 is a poor judge of concepts that cause fear in humans, and constantly searches for new methods in which to accomplish its goal. This poor recognition extends to recognition of emotions in humans, as SCP-2006 is incapable of distinguishing between subtle differences in emotion that would be obvious to a human. SCP-2521 is a large creature, standing almost twice the height of a normal human. Its entire body is covered in layers of sticky black tendrils akin to ribbons, although it is unknown if it is made of these or is simply covered in them. It is currently impossible to contain the entity, for it is capable of phasing through walls. The creature appears sentient and understands words, but is confused when presented with images or other non-verbal forms of communication. SCP-2521 is sensitive to any verbal or textual information about itself. However, it fails to react and/or understand to any form of images such as pictures, charts, and marks. As a result of this, it can only be described via ideograms and images. These images can only be viewed by Class 4 and O5 personnel, who should be well aware of the SCP's properties. Personnel that are level 3 or under are unauthorized to view or know about SCP-2521. 2 experiments have been made for SCP-2521 so far. In the experiment 2521-A, a D-Class personnel was placed inside a room alone. He was demanded to look at the chart and images describing SCP-2521 before writing it in texture form. After the D-Class personnel finished it, SCP-2521 appeared in the room and showed fondness at the images. It then took away the texture file of it. Scared, the D-Class personnel had to agree to let it do so, and SCP-2521 left, leaving the D-Class personnel terrified. The second experiment was made under the same circumstances. However, this time, the D-Class personnel was demanded to describe the images in an oral verbal form. After describing it, SCP-2521 manifested, expressing what seemed to be affection towards the D-Class before taking them. The D-Class has yet to be found since then. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Please be sure to like and subscribe for more content just like this one. If you have a similar topic that you would like me to talk about, please don't hesitate to put your comments down in the comments section below. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video, and don't forget to stay noted.